Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So it's been a real long minute since we have sat down and chatted, and I thought, hey, let's do a let's chat video. There's a lot going on around our house, and I know I haven't really taken a lot of time to kind of update you guys, so I thought this would be a great time. So how's everybody doing? We really hope you're doing well. We're doing well. Okay, it is Wednesday, July the 5th, and if you've been following me for any length of time, you know that last week I was on a trip. I went on a business trip and I flew out to California, and I was out there with some students and some parents, and we were the kids were doing a national competition and they needed a chaperone, and of course I was this teacher chaperone, and we literally were like 5 minutes from Disneyland in California. We could walk. It was 5 minutes from Disneyland. So that was a lot of excitement. We stayed at a resort type of hotel. And here's what I think about that. I was very, very thankful to be able to have the opportunity to go on that trip. Because I was telling someone earlier that I was texting one of my friends. I said, I never would have thought that I would have flown to the other side of the country. I mean, here I am, a girl from nowhere, North Carolina. I mean, y'all, I'm from a town so small we don't even have a stoplight. We still have a flasher. I mean, that, and it's still that way. There's still no stoplight. If they ever get a stoplight, I'm going to be like, what? Oh my goodness. But I'm from Nowhereville. And here I am out in the big city of California. And it was just amazing. But the one thing that I do know is it's God's love and it's His care and all of that for me. And it's His way of doing exceedingly abundantly above all I can ask or think. I never would have thought in my wildest dreams that I would be on the other side of the country. Ever. Never. And it's not that I'm small-minded. I am a very, I think I have big ideas. But God has even bigger ideas than I do. And so I'm slowly and surely finding these things out as I continue to watch my life unfold. And it's just a beautiful thing. So we got there to the place, and everybody had their own separate room. And so I walk in and I have this king size bed. But not only do I have a king size bed, I actually have double bunks and a pull-out sofa. And it took me so much trying to get childcare and everything for the kids and trying to take care of the dog. And it never dawned on me, Shakema, you could have taken your kids with you. I mean, it never hit my mind, hit my life, nothing. I was so busy thinking about the fact that I needed somebody to come in and take care of my kids, when had I thought further, I could have taken some money out of savings, depending on, how much it would have been. And I could have taken my kids with me. They had discount tickets to Disney. The kids could have had that experience, but I did not go to Disney. I am not a Disney person. I went to downtown Disney, which you can just walk around in there, but I don't do like rides and different things like that. And then for downtown Disney, you didn't have to pay to get in there. They just, do the scan and you can walk through the gate and just kind of walk around. It's just a little small area. They had like a live band and several different little place eateries and different things like that, or little shopping things you could do. And of course, I just went with the group because I am not a theme park person, but it was a great experience. And I was, like I said, I didn't think about it until the last day before I was coming home that would have been a great trip for my kids. And so now that I'm thinking of it, were I to go anywhere else, all I would have to do is pay the fare for my children to be able to go with me as well. And so that's what I think I'm going to do. And the reason I say that, I had made arrangements for my mom to come. If you hear that noise in the background, that is Grace. I have no idea what she's doing at the moment, but she is tearing something up. So here's what happened. I had my mom come to stay with my kids. And then my daughter had to be home for a wedding. She was kind of a hostess or something at one of her friends' weddings. So she was going to be in our area. So I kind of asked her, I said, well, will you come and check on grandma and make sure the kids were good? Because in all my little children's lives, and I say little children, that would include my 21-year-old son. From my 21-year-old son down to my 8-year-old son, they have never once stayed alone with my mom. We had a little bit of an estranged relationship for a long time. My grandparents raised me. Her parents actually raised me. And so when I think of my parents, I always think of my grandparents because they just were the people who raised me. But things are better. And my mom was excited to come and be with the kids. But when she got here, Miss Grace did not appreciate her being in the house. And she literally barked at my mom for the entire 6 days she was here. I mean, she never got comfortable with her being here. So what I knew, trying to be proactive, I asked the older kids if they could come in. You know, Shamika take a couple days. I knew she would be in and out with her events just to make sure everything was okay. My mom does not drive, so if she needed to go to the store or if she needed to do anything, you know, Shamika would be here. And then, of course, with her, you know, having the cancer, she is much better. She's put on a couple pounds. She's not as big as she was when she was here with us for that couple of weeks in December, but she's doing better. Her hair is growing back. She looks like her old self. Her energy level is still not what it used to be, but she's getting there. So that's good. Praise the Lord. And then I asked my son if he would come in on the weekend and kind of be here just to buffer. So I'm calling Sunday morning, just trying to check and see where everybody is. And it seems like everything I planned was not going the way I planned it. And I was so angry. I was so angry with my son. And I called him and I talked to him, and I was mad. I couldn't see. As a parent, you want to make sure everything is right, and it wasn't right. And what wasn't right was I wasn't here, and I wasn't here to make sure that things were exactly how they needed to be. And I wanted that sense of control, like not control because I need to be in control, but I was trying to make it easier on everybody else. And I'm a planner, so I'm like, okay, do this, do this, do this. If you follow the plan, it's easier on everybody. And none of the plan worked out. And I was so angry. I called my sister and I'm like, I can't believe this. And you know, she's like, well, we're not even gonna go there. It's just gonna be okay. And when I got back home Tuesday, I got back home about midnight Monday night. And Tuesday, my son took me over to the grocery store. And so I just sat with him and I said, I need to apologize to you. And I said, the reason I'm apologizing is because I put too much pressure on you to help me with the little kids. And he's always helped me with the kids. When our family dissolved and his dad left, he stepped in to help me do what I needed to do. He's never been the man of this house. He's never had that responsibility put on his shoulders. But I can only imagine what it's like to go from a two-parent home down to a one-parent home, and you have, or you feel like you have that sense of responsibility. So I apologized to him and I said, I lean too much on you to help me with my kids. And I said, that's not your responsibility. That's yours, your dad's, and mine. We decided to have those kids. Therefore, the responsibility to raise them is ours. If I need to be away, I need to speak with him well in advance and say, hey, I have to be away. I need you to do X, Y, and Z. And if he needs me to do something with the children and he needs to speak with me and say, hey, I need X, Y, and Z. And that has to be the relationship that we have. If not, my children will feel that pressure. And don't get me wrong, they're good kids and they help me out, but they're 21 and 27 years old. They're living their life. They don't have kids. They don't know what the sacrifice is like to do all the things that I do, and they don't have to. I thank God that they don't have any children right now. Neither one of them are married, and that's okay. They need to live their life and do what they want to do. So I called my daughter as well, and because she had already gone back home, and I called her and I apologized to her as well. And I said, I put too much responsibility and pressure on you to do what I do. I am the mom. I'm supposed to do it. It's my job. But it was so the Lord to really just click something in my head and say, all you had to do is pay for the plane tickets. And I could have saved. I mean, I knew a couple months in advance that I was coming there, so I could have saved. I just didn't think about it ahead of time. So next time, if there is a next time, when there is a next time, then I will be able to pre-plan that. I'm not making arrangements for people to come and stay here. I'll board the dog, no problem, and be able to take my kids. And not only take them because I don't want to make the arrangements for somebody to come here, but to give them memories. They would have remembered that trip for the rest of their lives. They're big enough, 13 and 8, where they could have appreciated it, and they would have remembered that for the rest of their lives. So that was a lesson learned. Totally a lesson learned to me, and I'm okay with that. I took something away from this experience, and knowing that whenever things additionally come up, I just have to plan and make arrangements for the kids, and that is, it's totally okay. It's no problem. With all of that, with saying all of that, we had a lot of workshops and different things up throughout the week. On Sunday, we were able to go on a tour. Some of the, one of the parents said, hey, we're going to go on a tour. Do you want to go? I was like, sure, because, teacher chaperones have to be there. And then the other parent and her child wanted to go as well. At first, they wanted to just go to Disney, but then she was like, no, we'll go. So we went, and we went to the greater Los Angeles area. We got to see the Hollywood sign. We went to Beverly Hills. I walked on Rodeo Drive, and we ended up down in Venice Beach. And I'm going to insert some footage just so you can see a little bit of what that was like. Hey everybody, so I am smack dab in the middle of Rodeo Drive, about to get hit by a car. Oh my word. We took a tour bus to LA, and so it included Beverly Hills, and it also includes Rodeo Drive. So we are walking by Versace and Louis Vuitton, and we just passed Sephora. Oh my gosh. And there's Burberry, a Renee and Mancini. I don't know who they are, but it's fabulous. I see shoes and bags. Oh my God, shoes and bags. Y'all, they got shoes and bags, and they only gave us 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Who can see it all in 30 minutes? Every time you turn around, you see Rodeo Drive sign. Y'all, I just you get so excited because there's Dior and Fendi and Louis Vuitton. It's just amazing architecture. Now I'm being real serious. The architecture is amazing, but there's such a disparity between where we are now and where we were about 15-20 minutes ago when we were back in LA. In LA, you see homelessness on every corner. Here you see affluence everywhere you look, and it saddens my heart that people really do live the way they live, and I understand it is just the way it is, but it's just very sad to me. Yeah, let's go across. But we're coming right up to the Stefano Ricci, and up this little, let me see if I'm going to turn my camera around and see if you can see. I mean, if you look at the architecture, just the beauty of the buildings. And across the street, there's the Dior and Fendi, and that's Louis Vuitton. I mean, it's crazy. Just the affluence and of where we are. So, wow, There's the Versace store. Oh my God. It's just so beautiful. We're in this little alcove. Oh my God. Hey y'all, I'm gonna stop here a second. I mean, oh my word. Oh my word.
Place into the Ghetto Olympics.
Okay, we're in Venice Beach, and they're getting ready to do some kind of a show where the guys are flipping around, and it's like crazy.
Yes,
like the vibe is
We're starting right now, guys.
free and it's open, it's airy.
People walk way behind you. Thank you. It's officially showtime.
I don't know. It's different than what I'm used to.
How you doing, sir? What's up?
Of course, I don't get out much, so anything's different than what I'm used to.
You surfing?
But I do like what I'm seeing. I like the people. I do love the people watch. It's cool here at the beach. There's so much culture, so much going on and happening.
Showtime coming up. Here we go.
So it's amazing to see different places. So I made it from one coast to another coast. I'm from
All right, let's do it.
the East Coast, and I've officially made it over to the West Coast, and it's just awesome and amazing. And it was really a great time. When I flew into, you have to know me, and again, I'm from nowhere, USA. I'm from a little small town, and I like small town living. Don't get me wrong. I love small town living. I think all my neighbors should know each other, and we should know each other's business, and we should raise each other's kids. And, I think we should all go to church together. I just think we should. I am so Mayberry in that whole, Barney Fife, Mayberry, Andy Grip. That is me. We should all live in the same little town. But what I learned, again, going back to the Ephesians 3:20 and 21, now unto him who was able to do exceedingly abundantly above all you could ask or think, all of that. When we flew we had two options. We could fly into LAX, which is into Los Angeles, or we could fly into Santa Ana, which is Orange County. And we flew into Orange County. And when we flew into Orange County, when that plane was coming down into Orange County, I knew in my spirit that I would see that place again. I knew that God was preparing me for what is to come in my life down the road. I still have so much life to live. I don't know the plans that he has for me, but Jeremiah 29:11 tells me that he does. He knows the plans he has for me, plans to prosper me, and all of that. And so what I have to do is be willing and obedient to do what he's asked me to do. And when you are willing and obedient, you'll eat the good of the land. And I just believe that God has more for me than I've ever thought, imagined, dreamed, and all of that. And I could see myself in planes going to different places and taking my children to different places. And that was God giving me a little bit of a glimpse into what life will be like down the road. I don't know if that's 5 years, 50 years, 20 minutes. I don't know. But I felt like that was a prelude to something God wants to do in my life. And I'm okay with that. I am such a homebody. I love to be at home. I don't do a lot of traveling. But when I do, and as I have been these last couple of weeks and in the coming weeks, I'm open to whatever God has for me. I went out to California, and I thought, Lord, I could live here. And I could live anywhere. I'm not stuck in any place. It's wherever God wants me to go. If the question comes, who'll go? If God tells me to move tomorrow, I'm gone. The end. Tomorrow. That's just the faith that I have that the Lord he wants to do good things for me and for my family and for my kids. And if whatever I give up for him, he will repay me for those things. Not in things, but just in our relationship and the connection that we have with one another. So this is what I'm saying to you. If you know that God has greater for you, you just keep doing what he's called you to do. He is going to do exceedingly abundantly above all you could ask or think. That's just who God is. That is who he is. And if you don't know it, I'm telling you, trust me, from nowhere, USA, I'm out here in Orange County, Rodeo Drive. Y'all, I was on Rodeo. I texted a friend of mine. He said, "Woo, you home now, ain't you?" I said, "Yes, I am." But it was a good trip, and it was fun. And so I'm glad that we got a chance to do it. So just a few updates. What's going on at our house, right? Tomorrow is the 6th, and Jackson is having some allergy testing done. He is still struggling with all of this nasal congestion and just this messiness. And I mean, we have probably gone through a small factory's worth of tissues. I have stock in something, I'm sure by now. So tomorrow's the day where they're gonna do the full panel of allergy testing on him to kind of see where the issues are and how we can get him back on the straight and narrow, because he really just has been miserable. Today was a really bad day for him. It was so bad I had actually make him take a nap, because while we're waiting for our appointment, he can't take any cold meds, he can't take any antihistamines, he can't take anything that would give him some partial relief. So maybe after tomorrow he'll be able to take something, but he can't take anything because they don't want anything to negatively affect that test. So he's been off of everything for 2 weeks except his nose spray, and that is not providing any relief for him at all. So that is tomorrow. We're excited about that. Alana has a nutritionist appointment tomorrow. We are trying a different nutritionist than we had before. This person is specifically has experience with kids or child nutrition. So we are trying to see if this is a better fit than what we have already. Not sure how we like it right now. We had a really bad experience, our first experience there. Our last appointment got canceled because the lady's child was sick, which was totally okay. So we're going to give it another try and see if we like her. I'm not real sure that I'm in love. And I do want to like the people that we go to see and make sure that we're having a good experience while we're doing it. So far, I'm not having a great experience. So we'll see how that goes. We are still currently in homeschool. Today is the 5th, so I'm hoping 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She's got 5 days that we're supposed to finish. So if we can finish with math, language, and Bible, that will only leave us history and science to finish. And so prayerfully, but we're about 30 days behind. So that means she's going to have to do about 15 lessons a day just to get caught up. And I don't know that that's going to be our testimony right now. So I'm not real sure what I'm going to do for school. I know I have to test her in math and language. So we are finishing those 2 subjects up, and Bible is just one of her favorites. So we're pretty much ahead on those. History and science, we don't have to test in the 7th grade year. We do have to test science in the 8th grade year. So I'm not real sure yet what I'm going to do with those 2, but we really do need to be done with school. Everybody's tired, and then before we know it, it'll be time for school to start again, and I do want her to have some summer. So I'm not real sure yet exactly what's going to happen. We are going to push really hard and work hard up until the 10th and see where we are and make some decisions then. So that's kind of a couple things that are going on. Okay, so remember last time, and if you've been on my channel in the last couple of days, you saw my Aldi haul. So I started shopping at Aldi, and it's probably about, let me see, from here to the vet's is 15 minutes, and it's probably 5 minutes more from the vet. So it takes me about 20 minutes to get there. I go in town all the time. I don't specifically go on that side of town, but it's just on the highway and I'm good. So I have decided to really focus all of my efforts with Aldi, because it is becoming so challenging to coupon. We can't do coupons with our rain checks anymore. Rain checks only last for a certain amount of days, and the last month or 2, I've not been using as many coupons as I normally would because of some people doing wrong things, and now they're bringing it down on everybody. And I don't just coupon to coupon. I coupon because I have to. I don't just go out and get any deals. I get the deals that are free or close to free or really cheap, because that's how we have eaten in the past really well. Because that is more of a challenge now, Aldi, I can go in with my $40, $50 or whatever it is I'm going to spend and I can get salad and greens and grapes and cherries and strawberries and eggs, all the things I buy for lower prices than I could get at my regular grocery store, even using some coupons. Now that does not negate coupons, so I'm actually gonna, when I get off this video, I'm going to be looking to see if I have any coupons for free or close to free items for this week that I can get for the house. So I'm still going to coupon, but I'm going to try to focus more heavily on Aldi. And here's what I believe the Lord was saying to me in that. Remember how I always, if you follow me for any length of time, you've always heard me say God provides. And sometimes we get twisted in our thinking that God's going to provide me more money. Well, there are times when God does give me more money. He gives me bonuses, and he gives me a week in August that I didn't plan on, that he's going to pay me my daily rate for 5 days. That's extra money. Never had that happen before, and I've been working with this county for almost 12 years. But I think God does it in any kind of way he wants, and I'm excited about that. So he opened an Aldi, or he had an Aldi open 20 minutes from my house, that will allow me to take my small budget to go in and buy all of the things that I would normally buy, and way more produce and different things like that, because God cares about me, and he cares about my health, and he cares about my children. And so he opened up that window for us to be able to go to that place. But my older son, he didn't want to take me on Tuesday. I was like, we're already out because we need to run over to Walmart real quick. He needed to replace something. So I was like, well, let me just go to Walmart with you. I just rode with him. But he didn't want to go. And I was like, go ahead and just take me on over there. So he drove me over. And when we were walking through, he was like, so Mom, look at this price. Hey, Mom, look at this price right here. I could go here and get it cheaper than Walmart. Because in the town where he lives, they have an Aldi. And I was like, yeah. See, I'm shopping for 3 people and I spent $80. You're shopping for 1 person. He's like, I could use $30 and be good. I'm like, yeah, you can. So I was thankful that not only did the Lord bless me with bringing the Aldi here, but he also blessed me to be able to share that experience with my son. And now he's going to be doing his shopping there as well each week, with like $30, and be able to really feed himself, because it's just him, and he's going to be able to feed himself and save some extra money. He said, dang, Mom, I can take my extra money and put it to something else. And that was my prayer for my children, is that they would do great things. And you know, that's good for him to know that that he has options, and cheaper options. So that is where we are with that. Okay. Ladies Bible Study. If you have not joined us on Thursday nights for Ladies Bible Study, can I tell you, you are missing a treat. And here is why. Those ladies are phenomenal. I had a plan in my life. I had a plan, and I'm reading a book. Let me show you. I'm reading Life Interrupted by Priscilla Shirer. And she said, what if God changes your plan? So I had a plan in my life. Once I knew the Lord had called me to preach, once I knew the Lord had called me to ministry. Now, you know, I don't know what that entails. I'm not a pastor of anything, or I don't preach all the time. I do minister, but not all the time. But I knew exactly who I was going to minister to. It was going to be these young women, and it was going to be the millennials, and it was going to be, you know, this person and that group. And I had these people picked out in my head, and God totally changed that. And what he did was he sent me a little lady from Georgia, beautiful lady from Georgia. Her name is Miss Joe. Miss Joe is probably old enough to be my mother, or a little more. And I met Miss Joe through Aunt Vicky, and Aunt Vicky is in Maryland, and Aunt Vicky is old enough to be my mother. She's not my aunt, but that's who she is. She's Aunt Vicky. She could be my mom. If I, you know, needed an extra mom, she would step right in. She loves my kids just like they're her grandchildren. She does not have grandchildren. And so she treats my children just like they are her children, but we don't live anywhere near each other. He sent me another lady from up the road a little bit, about an hour in North Carolina from where I live. And then he sent another lady from the New England states. Then he sent a lady from Charlotte. Then he sent a lady from Colorado that found the ladies group from watching my YouTube videos. And he just sent us all together. Some of us talk, some of us don't talk, some of us just listen, some of us cry. I probably cry every week. It's just how it is. it's just Shakema. I have to cry. It's okay. But he sent us together to form this relationship of friendship. And we love each other, and we pray for one another, and we study together, and we text each other throughout the week an encouraging word here, or I'm praying for you, or, you know, God's told me to tell you this. I get messages all the time, and Miss Joe, I always tell her, I said, you bless my life every time, because she says, Shakema, I'm growing so much just because you're in my life. Now, I didn't plan for Miss Joe to be in my life. Miss Joe is not 25 or 35 or 45. Those were the people I was going to minister to. But God knew that there was a group of women, individuals, over 40, over 50, over 60, who needed us all to be together. Because it's not just me teaching them, it's them teaching me. And we're all just growing together. There is no, this is Shakema's group. If I'm not there, I'm trying to find somebody to take the group while I'm not there. Because there are some days when I have to be, like last week, I had to travel. So we purposefully did not have group last week. And one of the ladies texted me, another lady who had been trying to join me. She's like, what time is the group meeting? Because I'm off early. And I was like, oh no. Because the time difference from me being in the West Coast to being on the East Coast, it was just not going to work because I was in meetings. It was 6 o'clock there, 9 o'clock here, and I was walking to a meeting at that time. So it just hurt my heart that we were not able to meet. But I'm saying all that to say, if you're looking for a group of non-judgmental people, you won't ever meet any of us maybe. If you're looking for a group of women who will pray for you and mean it when they pray, who will just sit and study with you and tell you things that they're struggling with and allow you to have a voice into their life, or they'll speak into your life. I mean, there's been many times when I've felt low in my spirit, and those ladies have spoken into my life and just said, hey, you just keep doing what God told you to do. And it's just been a beautiful situation. So I want to invite you, if you have not joined us, we meet every Thursday night, unless we decide we're not, which happens very rare. Every Thursday night at 9 p.m. The number and the access code is linked in the description box. It's permanently there. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we just finished the book of James. It took us 6 months to get through the book of James, and we wanted to take our time. We planned it that way, that we would take it line by line, scripture by scripture, and we went through all 5 chapters of the book of James. And we are getting ready to start a new book. This is called Friends for Keeps by Deborah White Smith. I have already read the first couple chapters of this in preparation for tomorrow night. You do not have to have the book to join the discussion. You do not have to talk to join the discussion. We do have some silent members, and if you want to be a silent member, that is a-okay with us. We just want you to be there. If you're one who feels like you don't have any friends, or you don't know where your village is, or who your tribe is, or you just need other women, you need somebody, you need human contact, please come and join us. We would love to have you. We would count it an honor and a privilege to be there for you. And some of the ladies, we've all just made friends. And I think this year, I'm looking in November-ish, that I'm going to be hosting our very first get-together with some of the ladies who do want to come in and get together. So I'm praying about that and still trying to see what the Lord is saying. So that is Thursday night. Friends for Keeps, Deborah White Smith. So we would love to have you. Again, you don't have to have the book to listen. I am still reading the book Life Interrupted. I'm doing a couple books at the same time, so you know that's okay. I can do that. This is a great book. Again, this talks about if you have a plan for your life, what if God comes in and shakes up the plan? And at this point in my life, I thought I would be still married. We would just be, getting ready to have grandchildren and getting our kids on out the house and all of that. And none of that is what I'm doing right now. So God has a plan. for my good. He has a plan for your good. So when you think that he doesn't, and you think that God has forgotten about you, let me tell you, Joseph sat in that jail for 13 years thinking God had forgotten, knowing that God had not forgotten about him, but he still went through. He sat in that jail and he waited for God to come and deliver him. And God finally did, and he became second only unto Pharaoh in the land of Egypt. So God has us. He has you and he has me in the palm of his hand, and he knows exactly when we're supposed to do what. And all we have to do is follow the plan. So this is a very good book. If you have not read it, I recommend it. Now, faves, just leisure reading. I read this book. I picked this up in Hobby Lobby. Oh, I don't know when, but I had it sitting in here, and I did not have a lot of time to read it. But this is called This Life I Live. It's by Rory Feek, and it is about his life with his wife, Joey. And we all know that Joey passed away from cervical cancer several years ago. And I just fell in love with them when they were on a country music's Can You Duet, that little like American Idol show. And I fell in love with them, and I loved their music. I loved their love. And reading this book was so good. And he tells his story about how he grew up. Then he tells a story about how he found the Lord, then how he found his wife, and then how they both found a deeper thing in God. And so this is a really good book. And he says that he's extraordinary just for loving his wife. He's not extraordinary for anything else. He's not extraordinary because he writes songs. He's not extraordinary because he has a blog. He's not extraordinary because he wrote this book. He's extraordinary, and he is known because he loved his wife. And it was such a beautiful read to read through here. And there's just like little nuggets of goodness on all these pages. I didn't mark any of them, and I really should have. So what I'm going to do now, because I have finished this, is I'm going to pass this along to one of the ladies over at Taekwondo who asked me if she could read it. I'm going to pass it along and allow her to read it. This was a good one, and I think this will probably make the round. So I have a couple people who are probably going to read this, and it is a very good read. So that is a couple books that I'm reading. Faves. So I am using the Happy Planner. Still love my Happy Planner, but I have found this book, this planner at Target. This is called the Day Designer. And the reason I love this Day Designer is because it is a planner and an agenda at the same time together. And I really just love being able to see time slots like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 2. One of my very favorite planners was the Cambridge planner. And that's because it had the monthly spread, but then it also had time slots for the week. So I'm able to write down time slots and where I need to be in time, and my brain just thinks like that. So I have been working on some of my spread for the month, and then I am actually working on this is for my week. So far this is what I have planned for the week, and there's still so much more to do. I am absolutely positive, but I love being able to just I'm not like a big decorator of my planner. I will put quotes and different little things that encourage me, but I like to be able to see everything I have to do. And I've been using this planner very faithfully for the last week because it didn't start until July, so I was okay with that. And I'm still using the Happy Planner for just regular things I have to do and especially if I run out of room in this one as well. But I do like this one. I got it at Target. It was probably, I think I paid $9. It should have been a little bit more, but the price said $9, and so they gave it to me for $9.99 or something like that. But I bought it, and it just turned July, so I'm now using it for July. But I do really like it, so that is a good one for me. July budget is up. If you have not seen that video, go and check it out. So I've gotten my July budget up. It's very different from what my normal budget is, but I recommend that you go and check it out. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to share with you as soon as this video is over, I'll think of 15 things I want to share with you. I want to ask you or encourage you in something. A lot of times I will issue a challenge, and I'm not issuing challenges that I don't take myself. One of the things I want to challenge you in is I want you to go through all contacts in your phone, and I want you to ask God, okay, Lord, who do you want me to send an encouraging message to? Just an encouraging message. I don't, nothing else. And the reason is, we are the hands and feet of Jesus. If anything's going to happen in this world, it's going to happen through us, through people, through humans. God can miraculously come down and do whatever he wants, but for the most part, he's going to use a person to bless somebody else. And sometimes that's a phone call. Sometimes that's a text message. Sometimes that's a cup of coffee. Sometimes that is a, hey girl, you want to ride out with me to this place, or, whatever the case may be. But somebody needs you today. Somebody. I don't know who they are. I don't know where they are. You may not, but God knows. And while I was in California, I actually sent out a very large message to a large group of women. And I have people text me back and say, you didn't know that this came right on time. And I sent it a day late because God had already prompted me to do it the day before. And I had forgotten because I was so busy trying to do stuff out there and get the kids in places where they were supposed to be that it just totally went off my mind. But I had people message me back. I had some people that didn't message me back. But what I'm learning in this life is that it's not about what people do. It's about what I do. I'm responsible to the Lord when he tells me to do something. If he tells me to pay for somebody's lunch, I pay for their lunch. If he tells me to bless one of the ladies at Taekwondo who can afford to buy her child some clothes, but she was looking for hand-me-down things because, hey, he's a little kid. Who was going to pay a lot of money for stuff? But I was like, hey, I'll get something. So I went over, me and Alana, we just went to Walmart. We didn't go nowhere fancy. And we were like, oh, get this one. Oh, we like that. Oh, oh. And we put together a couple little outfits for the little baby, and we were able to pass that right along. It didn't cost us. I mean, it cost us money. But more than that, we're building friendships. We're building relationships. And now every time that mom takes pictures of her little baby, she sends them to me, and he's the cutest little thing. I just love him, love him, love him. But she doesn't have to include me in his life, but she chooses to. And that's not because I bought anything. That's just because I take a moment to speak with her and ask after him, and we're just building community and relationships. And God wants us to begin to do that. He wants you to begin to do that. And I know that with everything that's within my being, that God wants you to look around you and find who needs you. Somebody needs you. A lot of us think nobody needs us, but that's not true. Somebody needs you. The ladies that I minister to on the ladies' call has said on multiple occasions, I know one specific lady who was going through a lot of stuff. There was a lot of transition and turmoil in her life at the time. Her husband had just passed away when we very first started the group, and she said, you don't know how much I needed this. And I didn't. I was doing what I thought I was supposed to be doing. Didn't have her in my mind at all. But God knew. And she was not on my list of people to ask. And out of nowhere, I was like, you know what? I'm going to invite her to come to the group. And she's been one of my most staunch supporters over the last 3 years that we've been doing this. And we meet all the time. She could be asleep. She'll wake up out of her sleep just to get on the call. I mean, really, somebody needs you. Somebody needs you, and they need you now. And they don't need anything you can give them. They just need you, some time, a listening ear, a crying shoulder, something. And so I just want to encourage you to be open to hear what the Lord is telling you about who that is. It could be your husband if you're married. Maybe he just needs you not to talk to him. He just needs to talk to you. Say, hon, I've been noticing you're not yourself. Is there anything I can do? You want to talk about it? Sometimes they want you to listen. They don't need an opinion. They don't want you to fix it. They just want you to talk. Your kids. My kids are the same way. We were driving over to Aldi. It was a 20-minute drive, and I got to sit and chit-chat with my son and just talk to him and really hear his heart on some matters and some things, and really let him know, hey, I'm praying for you, buddy. I'm praying for you. He's like, I know, Mom. You know. So I want to encourage you this week to find someone that you can bless just by being you. Take $5 and say, Lord, with this $5, who you want me to bless? I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's a gift card to Starbucks. I mean, you might need $6 for that. I don't know what it is. But, you know, maybe somebody needs a bag of diapers. Whatever. Just be open to be who God wants you to be to other people. We do what he did. We say what he said. We go where he goes. And we do what he, we do it. That's just how it is. So I want to encourage you guys to do that this week. You're never going to know. And you may never know. Don't do it because I ask you to. Don't do it because you expect something back from people. Because odds are 90 to 95, 96, 7, 8% of the people you text will not respond. And you'll be like, okay, I ain't texting you no more. Well, yeah, you are. Because God has put you in their life for a reason. And I will send out all these text messages and never get any response. And God finally said to me once, it's not about them. It's about you. I told you to do it. When you did it, you were obedient to me. And God will bless my obedience. And just like he'll bless me for being obedient, he'll bless you for being obedient. So I want to leave that with you and just ask you to really think about who you can bless this week. And again, don't get caught up in it. It's going to cost you anything. I'm asking you to sow time, invest a text message. I'm not saying go pull all your money out and spend it on this person and that person. I'm very selective about who I give my money. As giving as I am, I'm very selective about who gets my money. Unless God specifically says, give this person some money. But God does tell me quite often, time, a text, a call. Hey, I'm thinking about you. Post on their Facebook wall, send them a message. Thinking about you, just want you to know I'm praying for you. That's it. And leave it. And I want you to write down all the responses that you get and let me know if you get any. Last thing I want to share, Weight Watchers. I have not stopped Weight Watchers. It was very challenging to eat in California on Weight Watchers. I did the best I could, but there were no stores. There were no stores around where we were, like grocery stores. So the best thing they had was a CVS and a Walgreens, and then they had a 7-Eleven right like across the street. So I was able to get like some fruit cups and some cheese, and I had to live off macaroni bowls, and I got some turkey. So I haven't done any what I ate for dinner videos. I tried to film a few things, but it's just not been good. And then the internet out there was not well for posting videos. So I'm going to start again what I ate for dinner either this weekend or first of next week. So I'm still doing Weight Watchers. So don't think that I'm not. But I'm trying to get caught back up from being gone for so long. I still have some cleaning things I want to do around the house. So a couple more videos be coming out with cleaning. A couple more videos will be coming out with Weight Watchers. And then, let me share this with you guys. Speaking of budgets and planning, and I wrote this out because I didn't want to forget it. I have got to budget and plan, and I need to make some major purchases. So I'm going to be planning for the latter half of July and the first 3 weeks of August to save up enough money. I need to get Jackson a new computer for homeschool for next year. He used Alana's old computer, and we got Alana a new computer last year. So it's now time to get Jackson a new computer. It's only going to be used for homeschool. It's not for internet or anything like that. So I just need to have a computer with a that I can have the CD drive, because I've got to load CDs on there for his school. So I'm just going to look for a low-cost computer for his school. And then I have to get curriculum for both of them. We're still going to do Switched on Schoolhouse. It just works for my life. And then I've got to test the kids for the end of the year EOGs. I had planned to test Jackson on Friday. I'm just not sure I'm still waiting for some extra funds because I'm going to be doing the California Achievement Test with him while Alana is still finishing up school. And I'm going to have an actual tester test her. And we use the Iowa State test with her. And I'll use the CAT test because this is the first year that Jackson will be testing. Jackson is technically in 2nd grade, but we skipped him from kindergarten, so he is in 3rd grade, and he will test this year. I think he will do okay. We will see. Other than that, I just have to pay for Taekwondo, and I'm waiting for Dad to send the money for that. And then we're probably going to do some library days this week if we get a chance. I'm very prayerful that Jackson is not allergic to Grace. We don't know if he is or is not allergic to Gracie. That very well could be something, but we had Grace before Jackson started having all these issues. So we're just prayerful that it's just a bad flare of some kind, and they're going to get him squared away, because we do not want to have to give the baby away. But I have looked into the place where we go to get her dog food will help us find a rescue for her if we do have to end up finding a new family for her, which that makes us really sad. We've grown to love her, and she is a part of our family. She is our fur baby. And I'm going to take some footage of the kids. You should see these kids around here with this dog. I mean, they fight like they're actually brothers and sisters with the dog. And she gives those kids as good as they give her, but they all love each other. And she's very protective of us. She will not let anybody harm us. We had some servicemen come in this morning to do some work. They had to replace a breaker in the box, and she barked the whole time they were here. She was not having it. And she normally is not like that. She usually warms up to people pretty well. But if she feels some kind of vibe, forget it. It's not going to happen. Those hackles go up, and she is not the one for playing games. Now, she barks at the kids, but she's only playing with them. So anyway, that's just a little bit of what's going on around our house. We are busy. We have some travel plans coming up in the next couple of weeks. So we're going to be here, there, and everywhere. We just got a lot going on. I went to work out today. That workout, though, I'm telling you, I can't even, that workout, though. Ooh, them shoulders. It was horrible. It was hard. So I'm like, ooh, I needed a good shower. Came home, I showered, and I got a good meal. And so I am ready for bed. And the kids are getting ready for bed. Alana's still working on a little bit of school. It is 10 o'clock now here. So we're going to wrap up school for the night, and she'll start again first thing in the morning. So anyway, thank you so much for stopping by our channel. We do love to have you come over and chit chat with us for a little while. Leave me a comment. Let me know what's going on in your life. I'm just honored to have you. I never take it lightly that you're with us. You could be so many other places, and it just honors us that you choose to stop by our channel. We love you. There's not anything you can do about that. So, hey, just accept it. Take it. It is what it is. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. It just says, hey, we liked your video. And if you're new around here, hit the red subscribe button. We love to keep you a part of our YouTube community. Also hit the bell. That way you don't ever miss a YouTube upload from us, because we uploading. We doing some uploading. We don't know if you're watching, but we uploading. So we're honored to have you. Share this video if you think somebody would benefit from it. And until the next time we chit chat, bye.